Happy Trail Mix. Happy Trail Mix.
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Hello, everybody!
Alright, listen, fucker. I was doing it. I was fucking doing
And
it.
welcome to this week's Happy Trail Mix starring your host, Who Moboats. That's not a thing you do, but it's me, Obscur, and Lochrin the Friend.
Me, that's Lochran the friend.
We have other hosts, and they are not here.
They're gone. It's just us now. Congratulations, you won.
Today we have a plethora of bountiful topics to discuss with you, the viewer, the
Plethora
listener.
means a lot for those of you that didn't pass their SATs.
We have Cool Cat stops a school shooting. We are going to play the ever-popular Happy WikiHow game featuring your host whose laundry is a soak, Lochrin.
Me!
We'll be talking about HQ, the phenomena, HQties, and we'll talk in a related manner about why mobile games have such generic icons and titles. And we will wrap things up with a really very strange occurrence happening somewhere in the United States, I think. Bitcoin miners taking over a town, and we'll be discussing what that means. I self-censored myself. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's a bit of a pause there. I was thinking you were trying to remember the word miners for a second.
How could I forget?
How could I forget the word miners? It's in my heart. It's mined their way into my heart and also my bank account. So topic 1 is Cool Cat just straight up fucking stops a school shooting.
I will briefly discuss who Cool Cat is if you don't know. Cool Cat is a creation by Derek Savage, and it's a person in a really shitty fursuit-esque costume that tells kids. It's the kind of like school videos when you were a child and your teacher put in a VHS tape and a weird cartoon character traumatized you for the day while talking about how smoking will kill you. It's very similar to that, but modern day.
Yeah, and it's just as low quality too, if not more so, which I believe makes it more accessible to the current Gen X generation that's already as ironic as we are today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm actually really impressed that even the modern versions of these videos for kids are still bad.
Yeah, it's like adults that are educators don't know how to make anything entertaining happen ever.
I just feel like Derek Savage should probably... I feel like he should do a better job if this is what he's dedicating all his time to.
He's
and I feel bad
all
saying
his
that.
time to write the fucking script, but he can't do it. Imagine, because like the thing that you're passionate about and the thing that you're good at can be two very separate things, and obviously this is not what he's good at. So it takes a lot of extra time for him to be able to write a script that isn't like sentence fragments. Originally, the script was just good, bad. And like that's it, but
I think another issue is that when it comes to low budget things, even when you're an adult working with other adults, you could probably find some people that can't act too well but are like decent enough. But if you don't have money and you have child actors that are actually just children, not actors at all, then it's unwatchable. Or rather, it just comes off as disturbing.
I don't know, did you ever fucking watch Air Bud?
Yeah, not in a long time.
I've never watched Air Bud. Could you please explain it to me?
I honestly don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Please, I need to know how the entire plot of Air Bud functions.
Well, it must end in sex because Air Buddies was a thing.
At the end of the movie, Airbud lands a slam dunk and wins his team the game, and then goes and fucks some bitch for fucking days.
I thought you were gonna say he was gonna do a slam dunk and is not immediately landed in another dog as he landed.
Jesus Christ, that's even better. He slams dunks.
Two slam dunks in one.
He slam dunks his fat nut into Virginia. So I think.
Ugh. Speaking of fat knots and Virginias, that's right. Cool Cat's newest video is about stopping a school shooting.
Now, I'm curious, have you done enough research into this to know whether or not, like, we're talking preventative measures, or we're straight up talking like the school shooting is actively happening?
Hold on, my Discord fucked up.
Oh my god.
Talk again?
Okay.
It froze.
Okay, so I was asking if you've done enough research to know if this video is, like, Cool Cat doing preventative measures, or if it's straight up, like, a school shooting is actively happening and Cool Cat stops it.
That's it! Yes, it actually is that last thing, that latter thing.
Oh, no.
Derek Savage made a video explaining what the video is going to be about, and he said there's going to be a school shooting simulation, and Cool Cat's going to come in and explain proper safety measures. I don't think Cool Cat stops it himself. I mean, I guess it's possible, and we'll just have to wait and see, and hear, and cry.
He runs out, and he tells the bullies that's no good.
That's basically what the first movie was, so... The first movie had a gun, too. I just have... maybe Derek Savage has a gun fetish. He also has a video called, like, Gun Safety for Women. Something like that.
Gun safety? Specifically for women, because guns work different if you're a woman.
Yeah, so I watched a meme video that cut up the footage from the video, and I was like, that's funny. But I checked the comments, and Derek Savage commented 4 days ago. And he said, "Hi, this is Derek Savage," and that was cool. Outside of ordering on our site, we never released this film, and now we're about to do a wide release of our new version, Gun Self-Defense for Ladies. And he had commented that with the Cool Cat YouTube account, and I checked in, it really was him.
So wait, he went onto a parody video of something that, like, somebody else made just to shill for himself?
Yes.
He wasn't even like, hey, this hasn't been released, and I'd really appreciate if you take it out. I was like, hey, this hasn't been released, buy our content.
Yeah, he's very active on YouTube. If you look up meme videos about Cool Cat, a very decent amount of them have comments by him. They're usually just like, that was a cool video, now stop on my channel and watch their Ridge. Or help support school shooting videos.
Help support
Alright, here.
School shootings.
I posted some screen grabs from the video about the school shooting Cool Cat video to my Facebook page, Not a Furry.
Are you fucking shilling yourself right now?
I'm pulling a Derek Savage! Alright, here are the subtitles he wrote. It's going to include reenactments of active shooters rushing a school.
Excellent.
I don't like that phrasing, oh my god, that's terrifying. Rushing a school.
Just absolutely fucking blitzkrieging the shit out of that school.
And then, Cool Cat will show kids safety tips and techniques to stay safe in a school shooting. I feel like it's just... I'm conflicted, is what's happening. I feel like, in a way, this isn't the worst idea ever. But on the other hand, knowing how it'll turn out makes it the worst idea ever.
Like, knowing there's going to be someone actively trying to kill children in a Cool Cat video makes me violently uncomfortable.
I feel like showing kids a reenactment of a shooting is not the best way to teach them something. I understand that in like with other topics that would help, but you might just traumatize them.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So
no.
have you seen that there is a like a simulation program? It's basically a video game they're giving to teachers to allow them to simulate school shootings.
Yes, I have seen that.
I was gonna
say,
my
god.
I bet that the reenactment is gonna be like just clips from that game.
Just with Cool Cat modded in.
Or like fucking poorly photoshopped in.
Maybe it'll just be like Gmod footage of Cool Cat.
They're just playing fucking Gmod Tower.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like First off, it's kind of disturbing that we live in a world where that even warrants the creation of a video like this.
That Cool Cat is even warranted, much less Cool Cat stops a school shooting.
I'm so curious about how they stop it.
I
You know what would be way too far, like, for kids to handle, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in the video?
If Cool
If
Cat
someone
shot
fucking
him.
dies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Derek Savage is like, you know what's a good idea? Children death. Maybe a Cool Cat will die.
What's worse than a child? Dead children.
Oh. I mean, either way, I'm curious, guys. For the one person listening, comment below explaining what your thoughts on this, because I feel like this is almost... There's just so many angles to think about. Oh, God. I said the word angles, and then I thought about angling guns.
Really, that was all you had to do it for you.
Yeah, just the word angles. I also started thinking about triangles.
You could be my angle or my devil.
Or my handgun.
You could be my angle or my handgun.
Alright, we've talked enough about shootings, so let's talk about the Happy WikiHow game. Lachlan, you're this week's host. Why don't you tell us how to play?
Okay, well, first off, call me by my fucking official title. I'm the host whose laundry is a soak. Now, the WikiHow game, an explanation for you Mongoloids who haven't learned before, except even though we only know it's just the Kensters and the other guy who has that, like, psychedelic YouTube icon. It's only them watching it, but whatever. Now, the Happy WikiHow game is played in such way that I will be linking my friend Obscure here. Say hello.
Hello.
Thank you. And I'll be linking him some articles from WikiHow articles, but I will not be including the article name because I'm a mischievous little devil. Now, what's going to happen after that is he's going to try and explain the article for our viewers at home, since this is a podcast and you don't watch a podcast, you listen to a podcast, and there are no images, and then he will try and guess the title of the article. If he wins... Alright, so here's our first,
Okay.
Alright, let me pull it up, because I did not pull it up at all during that explanation, so...
Well,
I'm
during
going
your
to-
explanation, I was gauging how long you took by scrolling through Facebook as fast as I could and seeing what date I got to.
What date did you get to?
March 3rd.
Excellent. So, here is our first image in our romance-themed Happy WikiHow Happy game.
It's romance themed. Alright, here we have two people, one who is possibly male and one who's possibly Zelda. The male has a hipster bun and those gauges, big old gauges in his ears.
Mhm.
So when he's older than 30, his ears are just going to be a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
He has a bird's nest for a beard, and he is locking his gross cis male fingers around Zelda's hands.
I thought it was androgynous fingers.
Oh, well, I mean, the bird's nest beard, really.
Hey man, are you saying that girls can't have nasty fucking beards too?
The more I look at this, the more he looks manly as hell. Look at, he has like a very elongated nose. If this was 5 years ago, I may have called it a Jew nose, but I now know that is offensive.
So you're just gonna say it, and so that way you can say that you know it's offensive.
But behind him is the Facebook heart react, and it is, it has like that speech bubble endpoint thingy, but instead of reaching towards his mouth, it's going to the bird's nest beard.
So the birds are in love.
Yes, Lachlan, is this WikiHow to fall in love as a hipster?
You're so very close, but alas, that is wrong.
I can never tell with this game how close means.
I feel like we just say it every time and we don't actually mean it. Also, I just really want to point out that thing you did with the Juno. That's about as bad as when people are like in the middle of like a risque situation and somebody's getting offended and they will like announce to everybody that they're not getting involved instead of just actually not being involved. Shit pisses me off.
I'm a big fan of when people are like, not trying to be offensive, but, and then they say something really fucking fucked up to you.
Hey, I'm not trying to be racist, but don't you think that the Back to Africa movement back in the 1900s should have succeeded?
Oh my god! Wait, was that a thing?
I know that sometime during the civil rights era, I don't think it was 1900s because history is my worst fucking subject. But there was a movement by a prominent black figurehead that like was trying to get all of the black people to go back to Africa because they were like, that's our homeland. We need to go back.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
But here's your second fucking WikiHow image. Describe it for the good people at home.
Alright, here we have Kronk as a teenager.
Just fucking Kronk.
We have Kronk as a teenager with one arm on his hip and one arm in a fist going, yeah, I did it. And behind him is quite possibly him thinking about him talking and laughing with a girl.
So he didn't
there's
actually
not much
do
here.
it. Like, he didn't actually do it. He's just thinking about doing it. And he's
Yeah,
already
he
feeling
he
triumphant.
seems confident, like, maybe he's thinking of the future, like, this is gonna go well. I'm actually really confused if the guy in the thought bubble he's thinking about is supposed to be him, because if it is, they did a horrible job
Yeah,
of
no,
making
like-
it seem like the same person.
The fucking face is the entirely wrong structure.
Well, is this WikiHow to successfully ask out a girl?
Ooh, you're so close I can feel it tickling upon my taint. Here's your third.
Are you
wiki.
just tickling your taint on your own? Is that
Yep.
what's happening?
Yeah, I'm trying to prostate massage myself externally.
Alright, here we go.
So here's your
So
third
you-
WikiHow image.
Here's my final image, and you guys know that one meme where it's a guy staring at some girl's ass and the girl behind him is like, dude, what the fuck?
Everybody knows that meme.
Well, that's this picture, but separated into 3 pictures.
Separated into parts. It's now lost.
Yeah, it's just him and the girl smiling, and then him looking disinterested, and then the girl sees another man, and she has heart eyes for him. Oh, so I guess it's a reversal of that meme.
There you
Because it's the
go.
girl going for another guy,
You
not
see,
the guy
this
going
is-
for another
This is
girl.
really, like, anti-sexism because it shows that any gender can be a fucking thought.
I'd also like to explain that on the very most left side, the man is smiling with a large grin, and it really looks like to me that his face was distorted with some kind of Photoshop tool, because it just looks like it's melting. But
Oh my god.
ignoring that...
Doesn't
oh
the
my
girl
God.
look like Michaela, which explains why she's a huge slut?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she would never date a man distorted by Photoshop tools.
You're fucking right. She's got higher
Let's
standards
see.
than that. She knows that she knows what she's worth.
I'm just not sure what the article would be now, because it kind of conflicts with the other two. Is this like WikiHow to successfully maintain a relationship?
Oh no! No, you were
Damn.
so close. Oh, no.
Damn. Well,
Oh,
what is
my
it?
heart! It was actually WikiHow to get a girl to be your girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, I was super close then.
Yeah, you actually were close that time, and I wasn't just fucking saying it.
Although, I still don't get that last image. What is going on with her going for another guy?
The bullet point that goes with that is examine your reasons for asking the girl to make it official.
If she's a slut, I don't want to date her.
I think one of the things is, like, she is committed to you. Or, like, if she expresses interest in other people, she's the wrong bitch for you.
Oh, okay, so it does say that. Okay.
Yeah? Okay, are you ready for your second very important and very, passionate WikiHow article?
You know, one day you're just gonna send me images not even from WikiHow and be like, haha, pranked.
It's gonna be from fucking Pornhub, and I'm gonna be like, guess the video!
You're gonna see him leave in some 9gag logos.
Hey, which
Alright,
meme
hit
website
me.
is this from? Alright, now guess the WikiHow article, my friend.
Oh god, I hate it.
It's
Here
an
we
anime.
Here we have 2 Western... Okay, you can tell if someone from the West drew it, but it's anime style, and it's a woman and a man. They're really generic looking, so just know, man and woman holding hands, profile. You did it. You thought of the image perfectly, and behind them is the Eiffel Tower rendered really strangely.
Yeah, like, what is that perspective, actually?
It doesn't make any sense. It's also, like, really moody looking. It's very overcast in the picture. There's no sun.
Like,
There's
this
no
is
other people.
the perfect time for a romantic murdering.
Is this... Wow, this is weird. Is this WikiHow to have the... to have the dreariest honeymoon?
No, it is not, I'm afraid. Actually, for the first time in WikiHow history, you are not close.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now I know to think differently.
You ever seen, Haven't You Heard It's Me, Sakamoto?
No.
He looks like the anime protagonist.
Oh, you're right. I know what he looks like.
Yeah,
It is literally that. Ew!
Here's your second WikiHow
I
image.
think they're both girls. Is that a guy? I can't... It's two people kissing open mouth style. Did they really have to show the teeth?
And the tongue and
There's
everything.
also-
I'm pretty sure I see a dick.
There's like a weird error in this drawing as well, and there's a strand of hair coming out of the girl's ear. Like a full lock.
Like, it starts out, like, you can see the artist started, like, drawing a single strand of hair, and then just, like, halfway down, it turns spontaneously into a lock of hair. I'm convinced that, like, there's just a lock of hair connected to that little earlobe thing there. That's just going down her face, but he loves her anyways.
That is supposed to be a guy, right? Like, I can't tell.
I don't fucking know, dude. You can't just assume gender nowadays. That's racist.
Is
as
this
fuck.
like WikiHow to have a hookup in a foreign country?
Also, not even fucking close.
Damn it! I don't know. This is just a picture of people making out.
Well, then you're gonna love our next image, which is literally the same thing.
Oh my god! It's just... You just mirrored the image. It is just a mirror of the previous image.
Not actually, but you give me some good ideas for future WikiHow article things.
Well, that's really all this picture is. It's like the same picture but backwards. But now it looks a bit more romantic than gross. I mean, it's still gross.
Like there's less teeth. He's not
Less
gonna
tongue
fucking
and teeth.
chomp down on her fucking lip and rip it off for food.
I can't... There's less hair coming out of her ear. So that's
Which is
a
very
success.
important, yes.
I really hate how he draws ears. That's not what ears look like. They're too skinny. They don't even look like elf ears because they're too small. They kind of look like baby dicks.
You couldn't even be a fucking elf ear. All you are is a baby dick.
Wait, I have no idea what it is.
You're just a fucking baby penis.
It's WikiHow. Oh my god.
Okay, so we have two articles of people kissing, so you can assume that this is centered around kissing, correct?
I guess. Is this WikiHow to French kiss? Because they were in France.
Ooh! Oh god, I can feel it in my tip. You're so close.
Damn it!
It's WikiHow to kiss passionately.
Oh my god. See, the Eiffel Tower threw me off.
The Eiffel Tower indicates passion, motherfucker.
It indicates French kissing when you follow it with a teeth and tongue kiss.
It indicates French kissing when I straight up follow it with French kissing.
I still don't get why they basically just drew the same picture twice.
Like, what was funny about that article was I was trying to decide if I wanted to, like, separate the images a little bit, because there were, like, 5 images of just close-ups of people making out.
Oh, that is nasty. Ugh.
Don't you want to see, basically, WikiHow-style softcore porn?
I have now, and I kind of wish it was the Kronk character from earlier instead.
Yeah, bitch, me too.
Yes, check the links below if you'd like to see the images for yourself.
Indeed, indeed.
But next, we'll be discussing HQ Cuties. If you've probably at least vaguely heard of this app if you don't already use it. It's gaining popularity at the speed of delayed light, meaning, you know, it's like almost the speed of light, but not quite.
Like, you know, sound.
Yeah, we'll drop down to sound. So, HQ, if you do not know, is a game show app made by the people that made Vine. And every day the game runs live, and 1 million people, it's usually about 1 million people, log in and try to win some money. And they have a pot, and if you answer all the questions right, they split the pot with all the winners, and you make some money. And the winnings vary immensely. You could win like 50 cents or like $3,000. It really depends on how many people won that day. And that sitting, rather.
Yeah.
And I would like to talk about it because This app came out of nowhere, and it's just real strange that they're able to give away these crazy amounts of money every day, because they have two $2,500 games every day, except weekends, where there's only one game. But the Sunday game is always worth, I think it's 5,000, but either way, there's days when they give out a shit ton of money. There's one day where they gave out 50 grand.
That's a lot of money.
That's very spicy, and everyone got $2,800-ish dollars. But the thing is, how does it make money? It has no ads. They're giving away crazy amounts of money. It's hosted by Scott Rogowski, the infamous comedian known for... They make him stand facing 100% the camera. He faces straight on the camera, but whenever he turns his head, his nose is about 3 times longer than you would expect it to be.
So he's Jewish.
So he's Pinocchio.
What's the difference?
And we already discussed this, Lachlan. We can't say the Jew nose joke.
It's not racist if it's a fact.
Are Jews a race?
Yeah.
Did they used to be a race and then, like, now it's just a religion?
Jerusalem?
So it is a race? Are nationalities races? See, if we were playing HQ right now, we might know the answer.
I would know the answer. You'd be a dumbass.
Well, I just wanted to explain. I wanted to find out how on earth this game is making money.
It's a valid question. I think it's money laundering.
The answer is, it is not making money and is slowly bleeding money.
Oh.
Not even slowly, because they're giving out good damn amounts of money, and I'm sure that broadcasting a live show to 1 million people using your own servers isn't the cheapest thing.
No. Okay.
Either way, it turns out that it's just that, I guess when they pitched this idea, a lot of investors got interested, and they were already, like, prominent figures in the mobile industry because of Vine.
Right.
So a lot of investors were like, and we don't know who they are, I think, yet. I think they're private for now, but
One day.
they are helping fund this game for now, and in hopes that the game gets big enough one day that they'll have a return in their investments. So they're thinking that if this gets bigger, that they'll get real sponsors. Maybe like a question will be like, what's Twix's slogan? And
now for the Hot Pocket question of the week.
Exactly, things like that. That's what they're hoping for. That way they can actually make money, because for now they're not. So that makes sense. I just think it's kind of crazy that they're giving away this much money. Also, this game's been out for a while now, and it's still not making any money.
That's spooky as shit.
Yeah, it's strange, but I do expect it to... I do think it'll make money one day.
Like, there's
because
no reason
it's
that
crazy
sponsors
popular.
shouldn't, like, jump on board with this already. People are into it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's weird that it still hasn't made money.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up considering how much they're giving away. Like,
Yeah,
they're
and
just getting paid by their investors to give their money to the people, which, in essence, isn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm a really big fan of, like, you know, fuck the Borgies.
Exactly.
But
I find it weird. How don't they have sponsors yet? This is a crazy popular game. That's one of the biggest live streams in the fucking world if you don't count, like, TV.
isn't it pronounced like bourgeois?
Yeah?
Oh, I said it wrong.
The bourgeois.
The Borguese.
I will... Alexa, how do I do it? Say this word. Exactly. How on earth are you supposed to ask Alexa how to pronounce a word if you can't pronounce the word?
I don't know. But anyways, on to this fucking game. I do wonder, like, what exactly the thought process is behind giving them enough money to shell out to these people. Like, it's been this long. Do you think investors are backing out?
I don't think so, because the game is getting bigger. But that's what I mean. YouTubers get sponsored by this point in their viewership, so why don't... HQ has so many viewers each day. I don't understand how they don't have any yet. I don't know... We don't know how that company works exactly, so maybe they do have sponsors now, and we just don't know? It's
I mean, I
it's
think
possible.
you'd know if they had sponsors, because you'd get advertisements.
That's true. Damn, I don't know. I'm also curious, because the game's so popular, there's like 4 or 5 copycat games already, and I've played one, and it gives out basically the same amount of money every day, but it has a tenth of the viewership. I really don't get how those ones are existing.
I think it's a great way to cash out for us instead.
Yeah, the other one I play is called Cash Show, and it's a lot easier than HQ. And they also give you money a bit faster. You don't have to get every single question right.
Well, let's be honest. Like, all these are great ways to have fun with your friends and maybe get some extra money. But I think that the only real way to do that is to go to New York, regardless of where you are right now. Just go to New York and get in cabs over and over again until you get in the cab.
You know what I always think about? I always think of, like, what if you're, like, in the biggest fucking rush of your life, and you're like, I have to be there in, like, 2 minutes, man. And he's like, you made it to the cash cab! And
Yeah,
you're like, God, he's like, book it, man, I gotta go. But you can answer these 5 questions! No! I gotta go!
You know, like, you're late for the most important meeting of your life. Like, your wife's at the hospital giving birth right now. And you're like, dude, I gotta book it. And he's like, welcome to the cash cab! And the fucking ceiling lights up and the horns play. And you're just pissed as fuck.
You get the call, your baby boy's been born, and you're just crying in the cash cab.
And he's asking you what the ancient Mayan fertilities god names is. Like... And he's like, oh,
and you name your daughter
after... We had a red light challenge!
You get the Mayan question right, and you name your daughter after it.
You name your daughter after the guy that runs the cash cab after he gives you enough money to pay for the fucking clinic that your wife gave birth at.
Okay. We did it.
Daddy, why is my name, like, you know, whatever the fucking cash cab's guy name is? Well, have I got a story for you? Are you Googling what his name is? I think it's like Alex or something?
Ben Bailey.
Ben, okay. Yeah, just name your daughter Ben. And like...
Wait. Oh wow, that's so funny. He is a licensed taxi cab driver. Good,
like,
so he's legally making that show.
Yeah, like, I think he was before, like, a limousine driver, and then he got, like, contracted onto this show, and then he had to, like, go and get the taxi license, which apparently is super fucking hard to do.
You know, it would be a good prank. Getting light up
the taxi cab.
Getting light up lights for your cab, getting someone to go in your cab, and pretending you're the cash cab.
But, like, not even, like, the embedded LEDs that he has in the squares, like fucking flashing Christmas lights on the roof of your car.
A literal mini disco ball.
Like, throw it in the backseat and, like, you're on the cash cab! You knock out their 8-year-old.
Oh my god. So, all in all, HQ, good shit. I'm personally a fan of the app. Scott the host is kind of cringy, but you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. He's my lag daddy.
I would have another way. I would have a not cringy host. I would have a better host.
I'm actually kind of confused because the other app I use has a cringy host, and I don't know if this is part of the investment, is that you have to find the strangest man on the street and ask him to host a game show.
We just went out and we found a homeless man. We brought him into our studio. He lives here now. Meet Gerald!
Yeah, something that worries me is the host of Cash Show, like, made a joke that he couldn't afford something, and I was like, you host a game show where you win money, and you don't have money yourself? I'm, like, a little worried.
You know that wasn't a joke. That was a cry for help. They're holding him hostage in the studios.
It's quite possible. He never even says what his name is. So,
oh, shit.
In Cash Show, he's a nameless man.
Oh my god, that man's gonna just fucking disappear in a few months and nobody's gonna know where.
There's a similar topic lined up for today that I'd like to talk about, and it's why do mobile games have generic icons and titles? Because I'm sure you've noticed...
Next fucking question.
Yeah, I know. That's the basic answer, of course. But I think it's like to the point where it feels like an exaggeration. But I'm pretty sure Art of Conquest, Conquest Wars, Clash of Clan Wars, War Thunder. Wait, that's a different game.
Yeah, retard.
But it still has a generic name.
Holy fuck, are you stroking out, buddy?
That was a legitimate stumble, must say.
Do I need to call the ambulanco?
So, my research was extensive. Yeah, I'm honestly... Okay, so this is why I wanted to talk about this. This is something I legitimately want to research, because if you go on Google and search something like, why do mobile games have generic names, or something like that, not really anything comes up. And even if you try, like, different terms, not much comes up. So, I want to make a YouTube video about it eventually. So, what I've learned so far is, you're right, Lachlan, it's because it makes money. It's a marketing thing.
Got to have money.
So, all I could really find is that the app stores are very congested. There's so many apps, most of them horrible. So, the only other thing is, a lot of apps have similar names by now, because it's how it is. So if you pick terms that are extremely similar to another game, you might accidentally grab attention. And it's intentional. That's why every game on Earth has War, Conquest, Clan in the title. Because those are the three words people search.
That's the name of my new app, actually. Please download War Conquest Clan.
That sounds like it could be real.
Fucking does.
I play a few games on my phone, so let me read the titles for what I have. Caravan War, Clash Royale, Art of Conquest, Neon FM, Adventure Bar Story. Aside from Neon FM, those are some damn generic titles.
The icon for War Conquest Clan is just my persona screaming.
Well, that's the other thing. You've probably noticed that a lot of mobile games have screaming, like, mythical heroes just screaming as the icon.
Mythical heroes? You mean like poorly animated cartoon Vikings?
Yeah, they're usually Vikings. You know, gotta break out. We can't keep going with the typical fantasy world. We're moving on to Vikings.
Imagine being like a Nordic warrior in like fucking ancient times, traveling through lands and pillaging other civilizations for their goods and land, only to wind up as a marketing ploy 2,000 years later.
I thought you were gonna say, imagine invading other lands, but you can't win unless you pay a small microtransaction.
Imagine being in the war in Afghanistan right now, but you can't end the war on terror unless you pay the $5.99 every month to subscribe and get the power-ups.
Yo, I freaking subscribed to Art of Conquest monthly thing because it's $1, and I was like, well, seems worth to me. So I legitimately skimmed, I can't lie and say read, I skimmed the textbook, a frickin' textbook called Game Development Essentials, Mobile Game Development, by Kimberly Unger and Jeannie Novak. Names you can trust.
Miss Unger. Miss Unga Bunga. Alright.
And I was really disappointed because this book is actually very intensive, but it doesn't explain why games have their titles. I feel like it's... Why is it such an unexplored topic? Because it's weird as shit. Everyone's noticed by now, because when it first started happening, it was like, huh, that's kind of weird, but now that mobile games have existed for a long time, it's just bizarre that you can search the word war and get 20 mobile games that are popular.
I mean, they're all the
Strange
same game,
ass
too.
shit. I disagree with that. I've played a shit ton of mobile games because I'm a big fan of management, and mobile games tend to have a good amount of it. And I would say mobile games have gotten very varied. I would say back when mobile games were pretty new, they were very similar. I remember, like, when Farmville started. I think that was right before mobile games were a thing, because that was a Facebook thing, and then it turned into...
2003, yeah.
You're a little early. But once those Facebook-esque games transitioned to phones, those were like all the same fucking game, but I think they've branched out significantly.
Yeah. My favorite part about these kinds of games is that I feel like they steal the occasional asset, like, from other people or bands or whatever without the correct copyright. Because I remember there was one game I used to play on Facebook, it was like Monster Galaxy or something.
Oh, I played that!
Yeah, and it was basically just Pokemon, but whenever you would catch a monster, it would play the song, I think it was either... Is the band's name Treat or Roar? But I think it was either Treat by Roar or Roar by... It was Roar by Treat, that was it.
Really? I didn't know that. And I did
Yeah.
play that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember playing that.
And, like, I don't know if they got the permissions to use that, because, like, it's such an unknown older band. Or, like...
Yeah, I think that definitely happens less now. But now, I think those are, like, the cheapy games. The, like, strange ones from China that we're unsure if they were actually made or just apparated.
Hey, man, Monster Galaxy was good.
I agree, I enjoyed Monster Galaxy. I actually downloaded a Pokemon clone app the other day and I hated it. It's called Nexamon. It had beautiful graphics, actually, but the gameplay was so bad.
Just
It was
re-download
like...
Monster Galaxy, idiot.
Do they have an app version? That was just like an old Facebook browser game.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it in the App Store.
Here, I'll search for it right now. But I'm sure once I search Monster, I'll get 30 other apps.
That's why you
Yep,
search Galaxy.
My
too,
Singing
dumbass.
Monsters. Here we are.
Amazing. I love Monsters, Inc.
Yes, I'm sure that's also an app. Oh god.
Mike
Oh wait, Monster
Wazowski-
Galaxy is an app!
Mike Wazowski goes to the dentist. Mike Wazowski abortion clinic. Like, we're gonna hit games like that. Like the fucking
Wow,
ones.
1 million downloads. Updated in 2013. Wow, I don't think people play it anymore.
It's the perfect time to strike. The iron is cold.
It was made by Gaia.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know it was made by Gaia. Well, if Gaia made it, they actually probably did have rights to the song.
Okay, then that makes a little bit more sense. But I'm sure there are other games that have done that shit without permissions.
Oh, undoubtedly. I don't know if you know about the weird Chinese browser game market. For some reason, China has a weird thing for browser MMOs that basically play themselves.
Yeah.
They're the like click games, like Cookie Clicker, except they're MMOs. It's very strange, but they're really, really common. They use a lot of stolen assets.
Yeah,
I think they exist because I think it's something you can leave open at work because it plays itself.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, like, but beyond that, though, it's not even just the mobile games they do that for. They steal their assets for everything. Like, any kind of bootleg that just straight up steals assets from other places is usually synonymous with Chinese game development. Like, you have, what was it, like 300 Heroes. That was the League of Legends clone, but it had characters like Naruto and Shrek.
Oh my god.
And then there's the mobile game Arena of Valor, I think it is. And it's got, like, original characters in there, but there's also, like, Wonder Woman.
I don't remember the name of the one I'm thinking of, but there's one knockoff that's, like, just Overwatch. And for some reason, they reskin some of the characters and not others, so there's, like, these low poly models for Roadhog and then just actual Widowmaker.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video about that. It was really good. I remember watching a YouTuber go through the website for it, but it was all in Mandarin. So all you could see was how hard they just ripped off fucking everything.
Yeah. Well, to conclude this topic, I was going to say, I'm going to get deeper into this eventually. I am so curious as to how on earth this has happened and all these titles have become so generic.
Mobile game lore is deep, dude.
I just think it's weird because mobile games nowadays do a ton of online marketing, so that I feel like they don't need to do this anymore. I feel like to stand out, you have to make a better title now. But I guess I could be wrong. I don't know.
Could be. Who knows?
Larkin, let's talk about your final topic.
Excellent. So, my final topic is an article that I barely skimmed before the podcast started, and it is Bitcoin miners and what happens when they take over your town and why they need to leave, please. And this article basically discusses a town somewhere in, I believe, Seattle, near the Columbia River, where they had a large mine that was generating a large amount of electricity back in, like, the early days of Bitcoin mining in 2013. And, well, we're going back to that year, like, specifically, a lot.
What year?
2013.
It's a good year.
Yeah. PlayStation 2, motherfucker. And so there were people that were buying out buildings near the dam and buying electricity from the dam so they could mine Bitcoin. And like back in the day, they were like, you know, shitty little ramshackle shacks or like cargo containers that they would just throw servers in and some shit for cooling and then like mine a boatload of Bitcoin. And it's gone from that to the point where like major companies from multiple nations will try and buy out plots of land near places where they can get easy to access electricity and cooling and like mine bitcoins for decades and decades.
I didn't realize that mining Bitcoin was this electricity intensive.
Yeah, like supposedly the electricity that's required has gone up because apparently the way that it happens is that like a computer will work its way through a complicated algorithm, and the more complicated the algorithm, the more electricity that is required to power the computer to solve it. And as time has gone on and the value has gone up, so too has the difficulty of the algorithm. So you need more processing power to solve the equation.
Oh my god, this is gonna get ridiculous then. If we're already at the point where the algorithm's harder, it's gonna get to a near impossible point. There's only a finite amount of Bitcoin, so I don't even think we're not near the end of Bitcoin either. So like, oh my god, things are gonna get. This is already ridiculous. That place in Washington is just gonna eat ass.
Absolutely, it's going to eat ass.
Yeah, it's called Wenatchee, Washington. I looked it up. Wenatchee.
That's beautiful. Anyways, let me see. So I'm reading through the article, and like back in the day, you would need a location that can handle like a quarter of a megawatt or a half a megawatt, which to put in scale, the article says is enough to light up a couple hundred homes. But now, like a half megawatt mine wouldn't be worth fucking anything. Now commercial miners are putting in loads of as much as 30 megawatts, which the article quotes as enough to power a neighborhood of 13,000 homes, and that's one Bitcoin mine.
Yeah, I saw something similar. This article explains it as a hotel uses 18 kilowatts of power per square foot per year. A grocery store uses 40 kilowatts per square foot per year. A computer data center for mining Bitcoin uses 2,100 kilowatts per square foot per year. And it probably has less square feet because, you know, it's just a supercomputer. It's not an entire building. But that is still an insanely high number.
I mean,
I didn't realize it. I knew it was intensive, but
yeah.
I did not realize it was this crazy intensive.
Yeah, like, I mean, running through, you have information like, you know, shipping containers make for a quick way to set up an industrial Bitcoin operation, but the servers inside produce so much heat that they need to install big-ass fans on the side of the containers, so that way, like, it doesn't overheat and explode, I guess.
I wish this article, it doesn't seem to, I wish it explained how effective this actually is, because I feel like the cost of running all this, buying the supercomputer, buying the building, moving yourself there, the only way it would be worth it if this computer is mining really well. But is it? I like can't tell. It must be because a bunch of people are moving there, like you said. That place is being infested with miners.
Yeah, and on the other hand, though, you have people that, like, it's stating a critical cryptocurrency says that a lot of residents from places where these cryptocurrency miners are flocking to aren't really keen to see a lot of public power being sold to these people since they believe that cryptocurrency is really only useful for, like, crime.
Oh my god.
Like,
oh.
which is wrong, but also right, depending on how you look at it. And really, I don't know if this might be like necessarily a humanitarian issue or not too, because like this is a lot of power being diverted to essentially just creating capital. Like, that's, it doesn't have any byproduct, doesn't produce anything except for value. Like, I don't know if that might be like a humanitarian issue with all that power going towards that or not, but
I can see Wenatchee, Washington having rolling blackouts from these miners.
oh fuck, the miners just hit a fucking spree again. It's fine.
They found 2 Bitcoin in 1 week this week. Things are going out of control.
My power only went out 5 times today. I think we're having a good day.
Dude, this is crazy. If this spreads, if this gets any bigger, we're gonna have a problem. Especially because, like you said, Bitcoin's getting harder to get. Because the algorithms are getting harder and harder.
And like I mentioned, like, big-time investors are getting involved in this. One of the paragraphs I'm looking at right now states that, a utility executive knows that to reject an application for a loan from these people is to invite a big legal fight, because the quote that they have here is, if you can afford 100 megawatts, you can afford a lot of attorneys. Which makes perfect sense.
The article I am looking at, which is by the Wall Street Journal, which I hate, but you know, whatever. Okay. There's a guy quoting how they think that a big issue is that Bitcoin, I mean, cryptocurrency in general, is a bubble and it's gonna disappear soon. I always think about that too, dude. This seems very unstable. Not sure if it's the best of ideas. Like, you live your life the way you want, but it doesn't seem the safest to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, people are throwing their livelihoods into this and then, like, fucking themselves. So it's pretty impressive.
The value has already dropped almost to $5,000. And when it was at it was almost $20,000 at its peak last year. So I mean, it could fluctuate and go back up and all that, but I feel like if it's already almost down to $5,000 from almost $20,000, that these people, that should have been the biggest red flag ever, that it's unstable.
Like, I think the biggest thing that happened was that people started to pull their money out once they realized that it was also subject to taxes. Like, once they realized they actually had to pay taxes on it, they were like, no, this is dumb.
Taxation's theft, I'm out of here.
Not wrong. But, you know, like, I might have mentioned it on the podcast before, but I'm sure we've all had, like, that one kid from high school that, like, for us people that are, like, you know, early to mid-20s in high school, there was probably somebody that was like, dude, I'm mining Bitcoin, isn't this so cool? I'm just making money. And you probably thought they were fucking retarded, because they would also talk to you about anime.
In the same sentence.
Yeah, like, oh, dude, I'm mining this Bitcoin, so once it starts to gain in value, I'll be able to afford the entire Naruto Shonen series.
Yeah, I was gonna say a similar sentence. I was gonna say, I only order all my anime from the dark web with Bitcoin.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Wanna like, see my Shota collection?
Is that how weeaboos taught?
I mean, one weeaboo in the UK is going to prison for having lolly.
Fuck, that should have been my topic, because I saw that article, and I was like, holy shit, finally, it's a crime.
I forgot about it.
God, we have to talk about that next week, then, I'm sorry. But, like, fucking, yeah, no, that's ridiculous. And you know that in the future, like, now that they're cracking down on it, people are gonna start buying, like, perfectly normal anime and manga with lollies in it with Bitcoin. Like, you can only find this shit on the dark web.
Oh...
But yeah, no, Bitcoin is fucking crazy.
Yeah, you know what I really want to happen? I want these people to prove us wrong, and I want Bitcoin to soar to like an absurdly high number, like 50 grand or something ginormous like that. And maybe frickin', what is it, Wichita, Wenatchee, Washington, maybe that'll become Like, a strange rural area just filled with rich rednecks. Oh, they wouldn't be rednecks, they'd be anime nerds. Okay, well, still. I think it would be exciting to see, like, a commune of people that are rich exclusively off Bitcoin.
Like, I want to see the point where Bitcoin replaces paper currency and you go to the grocery store and you're like, that'll be 0.05 Bitcoins, please.
Do you take Apple Pay?
You gotta fucking scan the chip embedded in your arm with your Bitcoin balance.
Ugh.
You know, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a video game, Escape from Tarkov, and there's a bunch of different currency in there, and one of the currency available in the game is Bitcoin. And what's really fucking retarded is they actually scale the value of Bitcoin in-game with the current real-life value of Bitcoin online.
That seems pretty unnecessary. I mean, it's kind of cool sounding.
So, what I can't wait for is for Bitcoin to scale in every other video game as well.
I feel like that could possibly be game-breaking if it fluctuates too much.
Like, imagine an MMO where you don't get, like, gold and silver and stuff, you get Bitcoin, and it changes value constantly.
The auction house would be a disaster.
It'll be just like a real-life auction house. I don't see the fucking problem. It'll teach kids stock trading.
You know, there's a simulator game for everything yet. Is there a Bitcoin mining sim yet?
All you would be doing is sitting there waiting for your servers to make you money.
Yeah, so I'm a designer, so I designed an article on cryptocurrency, and I learned a lot about it in the process, and I think one form of cryptocurrency that concerns me a lot is Dogecoin.
Yes.
Just because the fact it started as a joke and is no longer a joke.
I mean, isn't the creator of Dogecoin even on record as saying, like, this wasn't supposed to happen?
Yeah, like, it wasn't. It was meant to be for, like, if you tipped someone, they would laugh because they'd be like, haha, you tipped me with a Dogecoin? And then now it's like, haha, you tipped me with a Dogecoin valued at $600? Wow.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
It's just... I'm excited to see what happens with cryptocurrency because it's such a strange phenomena.
On God, I feel like Dogecoin is going to be like a dark horse in this. When Bitcoin crashes and like Litecoin gets run through, the only contender remaining will be Dogecoin.
That is so funny. That'd be so funny if it happened. You know what I think it is? What freaks me out about cryptocurrencies in general?
Yeah.
When you think of movies or old shows about the future, or old books even about the future, a lot of the technology that they talk about are things you could envision, and now that we've seen all that and Bitcoin is a thing, or at least I've never read about anything similar to that in a science fiction book or a book that talks about future technologies.
The future is now, bitch.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though? Like, this is something I never thought about.
Yeah, no, like, money being just, like, an idea online and not, like, physical tender. Like, I mean, you know, in all those science fiction things, they have money in credits, which, like, if you look at it, looks like just SD cards, kind of? Like, it just looks like a
I've heard
chip.
I've heard of things like that.
I bet that in the future, cryptocurrency is going to overtake legal tender. And then it's going to be like computer chips with like a single Bitcoin uploaded onto it, and it's going to hold the value of 1 credit.
Oh my god.
That's it. That's the future, lads.
Oh man. Well, thank God we're in the future, because this has been an hour.
Well, yeah, if you listen to this all the way through, please come back to your family. They miss you.
It's true. I miss you.
We're your family.
Come
now.
home.
Come to us.
Here's our P.O. box if you'd like to leave. We don't have a P.O. box.
We should get a P.O. box so people can send us anthrax.
I always worry about that. I used to watch Smosh open packages. Don't judge me. I can hear you judging me.
We all had a Smosh phase, except your
Okay,
Smosh phase is
okay.
still happening.
No, it's Anthony Padilla. He left Smosh. Either way, they like joke. They brought up how they were afraid of anthrax like several times, and I do not blame them at all.
Yeah, no, like if I open those things, I'm gonna be wearing like a fucking welding mask and a medical like face mask underneath it.
I really worry for iDubbbz. He's who I worry about like the most.
Cause he will straight up just open the package nonchalant and eat whatever's inside.
And it's like a fucking dirty ass diaper, probably from an 80-year-old man.
What's funny about that to me is if you look at his earliest unboxing videos, he's like super hype and the videos are all like high energy and fun to watch. And now his unboxing videos are all just the same thing. He's just fucking sad and he just runs through it.
I like read the comment section for one of his unboxing videos, and all the top comments were like, dude, are you like, do you need help? You like legitimately just seem sad now. Like, it's like, it's entertaining in a way, but also like dreary. It's
like, I don't know if he's bored of the content or like if he's as depressed as he says he is. Like, it's like Bo Burnham. All of his comedy is actually just a cry for help and someone just needs to hug that man.
And he's being more and more explicit about it, and nothing is. He's still
like, he straight up said, "I have crippling depression." Everyone's like, "Haha, funny."
God, like, yeah, Bo Burnham's most recent comedy special was just traumatizing.
Was that the one with kill yourself and the argument between his left brain and his right brain?
Maybe I get him confused. The part I can remember being crazy was that he turned the house lights on and just talked to the audience for a few minutes without making jokes.
Yes, he talked to them about like how jokes were like a way to cope with his like depressing childhood or something. Or just like his depression in general. And he just talked to the audience. Like he just sat at the edge of the stage and he just talked for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then like his final song ended really strangely too.
And like
he was like talking about he was like he said a part of me hates you, a part of me loves you.
And like
it's being famous like that is such a double-edged sword for him.
Yeah, and like there was like if you watch on Netflix, the end of it was like I think he just like looked at a picture of one of his parents or something and he just started to cry. No,
He's
I don't
a
think
cool
it was.
Dude.
I don't think it was that. I think he just actually started crying. I don't know why I'm so intent on like his parents somehow being a part of this. I think
I'm not sure if that's part of it.
I think I need to see a therapist myself now.
Yeah, but either way, good man. I hope he finds what he needs. I don't know what he needs.
Xanax?
There's a John Mulaney joke about that.
Great. So, thanks for listening to Happy Trail Mix. We air, some Sundays on...
It's supposed to be every, but we're busy.
No, we're just lazy. And...
No, I'm actually busy!
No, you're just lazy. And so, we upload sometimes on Sundays when Obscure isn't a bitch and is super lazy and he's just asleep all day.
I'm in my final semester of college and I had to set up an art show. Have you ever set up an art show?
No,
but like at an actual gallery?
No, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna go to your art show and then get scared and not go.
Oh yeah, Locker might go. I hope you go.
Yeah, I do too, but I think my social anxiety is getting the better of me.
Oh.
Anyways, we air some Sundays on YouTube, Stitcher. Do we upload on iTunes still?
Yes.
Okay, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and Podbean, and other such related sites. We hope that you enjoyed this titillating episode of Happy Trail Mix.
Don't give it a cavity from how sweet this trail mix is. Goodbye!
Goodbye!